All right, we're looking forward to this week. We've got a undefeated, Miami team that's rolling in here, playing with a lot of confidence. Mark's done a great job getting this team prepared week in and week out. I think they're one of the top teams in the country in turnover margin, so they're taking care of the football and they're creating takeaways on defense. And so, we've got to do a great job of taking care of the football ourselves.
You said after Saturday's game that when you saw the game film, you were certain to find some positives. Did you find any positives? So what were they?
Oh, there were positives throughout the game. I mean, there were some good things that happened throughout the game at every position and on every unit, but there weren't enough of them. I mean, the mistakes and the negative plays far outweighed the positive things that happened. But again, it's for me, looking at on some of these guys, understanding that where they are as football players at this time in their career, and that even though a mistake is made, there'll be something positive that will come out of it as far as how they develop and how they grow.
How are you evaluating improvement at this point, even if the results overall aren't what you like? Play to play, or little things that you look for that shows you?
Well, I look for individual players, and if I feel like guys are getting better, if individual players are getting better, we may not. I can tell you offensively. I mean, we didn't get better as an offense, but there were guys within the offense that did some nice things in some situations that they had made a mistake before doing it and got it corrected and didn't make the same mistake. So you got to look for the little things, the small silver linings in the details. And if we can, we just got to keep improving and paying attention to detail.
Do you have an example of something like that speaks to kind of what you're saying with an individual?
Yeah, I mean, we ran a play that was questionable whether Daz was going to know what to do on his blocking assignment, and because it was a very tough look. And he went in and took the right guy and blocked him. And we had a nice positive play because of it. If he doesn't do it, we're not going to have a positive play. And it was a difficult look for him. It was kind of cloudy. And I wasn't sure what he was going to do when we were running the play on the field. And he went to the right guy and got him blocked, and we had a nice play out of it. So, it's individual things that you're looking for. If guys, because earlier he probably wouldn't have made that block. He probably wouldn't have gone to the right guy in that situation.
I know that obviously the mission is to win each of these remaining 4 games, but you haven't been in this situation before. Is there a point in time where maybe as a staff you start to give some guys that are going to be back a little bit more opportunity to play to start building toward next year?
No, not for me. I mean, we're first of all, those guys are playing. I mean, we don't have a lot of choice in that matter. So, and I would prefer not to be bringing anybody out of a red shirt that we're right now is still in a red shirt. So it's we're going to continue. We're going to focus on this game, and the goal will be to win this football game and do whatever we need to do to be successful. And that's it. And that's what it'll be every week. That won't change.
How do you handle season goals now that you don't have anything as far as postseason to play for?
Yeah, we talked about as seniors yesterday. I mean, what's left for these guys? What kind of legacy do they want to leave, and how are they going to respond to what's going on in with our program right now? Because that's what they're going to be remembered as. It won't be so much the wins and losses, but how they reacted in this in times of adversity and how they led this football team. And are they going to continue to keep this group together like they've done such a good job of doing? So that's where we're at right now.
Larry, there was 14 penalties. I think 8 of them were false starts, 6 by senior offensive linemen. You kind of explain how that happens, and is that surprising that seniors make those mistakes?
That means that he moved before the ball was snapped. That's how that happens. I mean, how does it happen?
Is it miscommunication? Is it
No. It was strictly their stemming, and what they were doing defensively with their stemming right before the snap. So if you're on, you're doing a cadence of first sound, and their defensive tackles move and say move real loud, I mean, and, you know, it gets you. And then you get flustered, and then it happens again, and then you keep doing it.
And, there's 2 false starts, I think, on punt cover.
On the play, yeah.
Is that just inexperience and,
It was by 2 freshmen,
yeah,
you know, both of them. I mean, you know, it's something that we work on with those guys, and they gotta do a better job of it. Just because their guys are moving doesn't mean that they gotta be moving, you know. And, you know, I think part of that was just, a little bit of the being overwhelmed in the situation and, you know, a little big-eyed at it.
On Chaz's fumble that was returned for the score, I believe it was Michael was back there in pass protection. He blocked the guy, but I guess he kind of went over Michael and then ended up on the ground making the play with Chaz. What would you want to see Michael do differently in that situation?
I'd rather him just stay on the guy, not worry about getting low and cutting the guy, but stay up on him and hit him in the mouth and move his feet and get his hands inside, you know, instead of, you know, flipping the guy up over him. I mean, you know, the guy made a heck of a play, so you got to give him credit. But yeah, we want Michael to stay up in that situation and face the guy up.
We talked about effort not being an issue. When you went back on film and you look at a game that is that lopsided, was effort a problem?
No, there wasn't a time really for me where I felt like the guys didn't give the effort that they needed to make plays. I mean, it was you know, the guys that were out there on that field, they were playing hard. You know, didn't have a reason to, you know, other than pride, but they did. You know, so I didn't feel like effort was a problem in the game.
KJ Sales is a player that got thrown at a lot on Saturday. Made some plays, made some stops. What have you seen from him in that tape, and what have you seen from him this season as he progressed?
I think he's gotten better and better every week. I mean, you know, when you play that position, you're not going to be 100%. I've never been around one that has been. Don't know of one that has been. And so you know, what you got to have is you got to have memory loss. Basically, you can't worry about the ones that you get beat on or that you're out of position on, and you got to have a lot of confidence, and that's one thing that, you know, I'll say he's done a really good job of. If he makes a mistake, you know, where I would say in the spring it really bothered him, and it might carry over to the next play or a play after that, and he's done a really good job putting it behind him and moving on to the next play, and he's made plays for us.
You spoke to him previously in the season. What do you think about that guy as a person, and what was like recruiting him? Any stories about? He seems like a kind of a big personality.
He's got a lot of personality. You know, he's always a really happy-go-lucky kind of kid that likes to talk, likes to sing, likes to dance. You know, just has a good time. You know, and he brings that same thing to practice. You know, so that's a real positive thing.
Speaking of him, what's their reaction to kind of the way he celebrates sometimes after plays, even if it's a play that he's not necessarily really involved in or doing much of anything, like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a problem with it. I know there's some people that you know, that want them to be 30, 40-year-old mature men. You know, he's a kid playing the game that he loves to play and has fun playing it, and so he may be a little demonstrative at times, and but that's just who he is. That's his personality. I don't think it's ever, you know, I mean, he's gonna, as he grows and matures, he's gonna realize that some of those are routine plays that he's supposed to make, and you know, he'll make them and he'll move on like he's made them before. And so, you know, but I'm not gonna get down on a kid because he has fun playing. I think that's important for him.
Larry, Andrew referenced it earlier, but you've been head coach for 10 years. This is the first time
Yep.
that you'll have a losing record in the regular season. Does the prior success that you've had make it easier to kind of stick to the protocol and SOP? Or is this a situation because it's unique for you that you're tempted to?
Oh, no, I can assure you, you know, I mean, I don't question what we're doing, how we're going about doing it, you know, and to answer your question, I would say yes, because of the success in the past. You know, I'm not shaky about my philosophy. I'm not questioning whether I can coach. I'm not questioning whether our coaches can coach. I'm not questioning I'm not questioning those kind of things. I know, what we're doing and the way we're doing things, it's proven. And so, you got to put your nose down and your head down, and you keep grinding and you keep doing it and you keep doing it, and eventually good things are going to happen.
What would you say to, fans obviously are fickle. We all know that. They expect nothing less than a championship
Yeah.
every year. What would you say to people who are kind of questioning maybe the overall direction, and who are down on the program and doubting the future, where you guys are going, all that kind of thing?
Yeah, I wouldn't know how to answer that, other than I can tell the fans that, I wish we were playing better, and I wish we were winning football games, and nobody wants it more than these players and these coaches, I assure you. And, I can't really worry about people that are fickle, and if they really truly understand the game of football and they really truly love this program, they'll understand what's going on.
In particular, the offensive line has gotten a lot of criticism from a lot of people. I'm sure we all hear about it all the time from people, and probably you do too.
No, I don't.
Well, you got two seniors, two graduates on the offensive line. I know there's been some attrition. How would you assess the growth of that group, say, over the last month, since you haven't had as much attrition, since they've been sort of a consistent group out there?
Yeah, they've got to play better. They know it. They know that nobody knows it better than them. They know that the way they played Saturday isn't good enough to help us be successful. And so those guys know that, and they know as a unit what they've got to get done. And Coach Cap knows what he's got to do with those guys, and they'll continue to work hard and get it going in the right direction.
Is it tough for them to grow, even when a couple of guys have been hobbled this whole time? Does it make it tougher, or is it just?
There's a lot of things that are tough. It's just the way it is. So you don't. We don't get to use excuses. It is what it is. Whatever the situation is, we got to find a way to make it happen. So.
Miami lost Walton, but Homer has been filled right in the last couple games. What have you seen from their running game in particular?
Oh, they
Who's
got
a guy of that stature?
And they got
people-
they got good running backs. There's no doubt, and they probably got a couple more back there that they could slip in there and be just as good. I think they're doing a really good job up front. I think that's the key. You stick another running back in there and he does the same things. I think you got to give credit to the offensive line, those tight ends, and the receivers that are blocking on the perimeter.
You got a chance to watch any tape of Mitch Trubisky? He's undefeated on Sundays.
I have not. I hadn't seen a game yet. But
4 for 7 yesterday. No way.
didn't throw it much, huh?
No.
Didn't have to, I guess. I don't know what was the score of the game.
17-3.
It's good. Finding ways to get the ball in the end zone.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.